Hey guys, Archangel here, and today we're going through the patch 5.4 Frost Deathknight two-handed PvE guide. Stick around watching and I'll tell you everything you need to know about the Frost Deathknight. So to start off, we'll have a look at how the Frost Deathknight is actually doing in patch 5.4 so far. This is at 522 item level. No one's actually tested best in slot yet because we don't have best in slot, obviously. It's only been half a day in now. But as we can see, Frost Deathknight at this item level, two-handed, is the best spec in the game, closely followed by its one-handed brother, so either spec's really viable at the moment. So it's gone from being one of the worst specs in the game to being the best at 522 item level at least. Things can change, obviously, it's only early patch, but I will be updating it if they do. But anyway, as we can see, it's a very nice spec to have at the moment. Unholy isn't that far off, it's about 10k off, so you can still play if you want, and obviously with Festa Blight you might be actually pulling more DPS off on some fights, but Frost at the moment is the best. So as far as our stat priority goes, a lot has changed. As you can see, it's the usual strength, hit and expertise to 7.50% cap, but critical strike is now our main secondary stat. Now why is this? Since we get killing machine, it's instant crits on our obliterating frost strike anyway. Well, it's because our auto attacks are now hitting like a truck, and we want as many of them to crit as possible, plus howling blast is also hitting like a truck, and we want that to hit as much as possible. And of course the obliterates and frost strikes when killing machine isn't procced, it's always a nice dynamic for them crit. So it goes that, and then haste and mastery are equal. I think mastery's a little better in my opinion, just for the extra frost damage come off howling blast and frost strike, and your frost fever obviously. But they're equal. You choose which one you want to take, or just take a mix of the both. As for our gemming, our crit stat weight is now over half of what strength is, and so we will be focusing on crit gems from now on, since it gives twice as much as the primary stat does. For red, we want to be going Scribe Vermilion Onyx, which gives strength plus crit. For blue, you want to be going Piercing Wild Jade, which gives hit plus crit. If you're already over the hit cap, I recommend going for stamina instead. Yellow, Smooth Sun's Radiance, that gives pure crit, and for meta you want to be using the Reverberating Primal Diamond, unless you have the legendary gem, which is better than the Reverberating Primal Diamond. As for your enchants, on your shoulder you want to be going with Greater Tiger Fang Inscription, which gives you strength and crit. For cloak you want to be going Greater Crit. For chest you want to be going Glorious Stats. For braces you want to go Exceptional Strength. For gloves you want to go Super Strength. Legs you want to go Anger Hide Leg Armor, which gives you strength and crit. For boots you want to be going Greater Haste, and weapon you want Rune of the Fallen Crusader. And now we're going to go through the talents part of the guide, and for tier 1 it's unrivaled now. You won't be taking Plague Leech. They've buffed it so it gives you 2 random fully depleted runes into death runes instead of 1, and that's going to increase your DPS by a lot. And for tier 2, I've gone with Anti-Magic Zone. It has been changed now. We'll give it a read here. Places a large stationary anti-magic zone that reduces spell damage done to the party or raid members inside it by 40% and lasts for 3 seconds. So no longer breaks, but it gives you quite a big damage reduction to magic things. It'd be good on fights such as Margera's Rampage for a bit. And for the next tier, you can either go with Chillblains or Death's Advance, depending on the fight really. If you're kiting, you want to be going Chillblains, but if you just want some extra utility, you want to be going Death's Advance. For the next tier of talents, you want to be going with Death Pact. They have buffed Death Siphon, but I still think it's useless. It costs in a Death Rune, which means your DPS is heavily affected by it. And Conversion costs Runic Power, which means your DPS is heavily affected, so I'd stay with Death Pact if I were you. And the next tier, Blood Tap, has been proven to do more damage than the other two. I will have the graph up on the screen right now, or I should do it if I don't forget. But it has been proven to do a little more damage. And for the next tier, it all depends on the fight again. Desecrated Ground you want to be using when you've got debuffs on you, such as the Iron Quan fight, or just when they can CC you. Remorseless Winter, when they say adds to freeze, and it's good on trash as well. Gorfien's Grasp, when you need to gather, adds up. It's very good on the little lightning balls on the Lei Shen fight, and some other fights as well. And it's good on trash as well if you tanks, or you're tanking, you need to gather up. The mobs. As for glyphs, I don't have them on me at the moment because there's none on the auction house, and I imagine once they come out they'll be really expensive. But you want to be going with the new glyphs. You want to be looking at them. You want to go Loud Horn. It's a clear DPS increase. It generates an additional 20 runic power. The cooldown's increased by 100%. We never actually used it off cooldown, so this is definitely a DPS increase here. You want to be going Regenerative Magic. This is almost all the time going to work when you have Anti-Magic Shell up, and it's going to be a big DPS increase because you're going to be getting extra runic power because Anti-Magic Shell is on a lower cooldown. And for the other one, I would use either Glyph of Shifting Presences, Glyph of Pestilence, or Glyph of Anti-Magic Shell. Anti-Magic Shell will work well with the regenerative magic, and Shifting Presences will work on fights where you might be needing to go Blood Presence to reduce the damage you take on fights such as Dark Animus on Throne of Thunder, and Pestilence where there's ads, and good on Trash as well. As for your minor glyphs, we've got a few cool glyphs. We've got the glyph of Skeleton now that you could use. Summons a skeleton instead of a ghoul, so that's pretty cool. Replaces your Geist or ghoul now. The Horn of Winter effect now lasts for 1 hour. I wouldn't really use that. There's not much point really. And you've got all the other cool abilities that you can get that we've already had. But the ones that you could actually use to help is this one, Tranquil Grip. You can Death Grip for your tanks, and it no longer taunts the target, so you don't just get one shot once you Death Grip something. This one's good as well. If your target is immune, then its cooldown will be reset. And Army of the Dead is also useful. They will no longer taunt their targets, which they will do on, say, Trash and raids. So that's also useful. Okay, so first I'll be going through the single target rotation here, then I'll be giving an example of me doing it on a target dummy. So Soul Reaper, when your target is below 35%, takes priority over everything. Soul Reaper got a huge buff in the patch, and so it's really powerful now. It's on the biggest part of the Deathknight's DPS. You want to obliterate when your killing machine is procced. Make sure you have both your diseases up on the target, remember. Then you want to have your diseases up at all times. Obliterate when any runes are capped. Frost Strike if runic power is capped, Howling Blast only if Rhyme is procced, then Frost Strike, Obliterate, Horn of Winter. Okay, so world servers are bouncing up and down, so this could horribly wrong here, but here's the rotation guide for you guys. You want to have Horn of Winter up, obviously. You want to initiate a fight with your Army of the Dead, unless, say, it's a Horadon fight and the opponents take extra damage at the end, and then you obviously don't want to initiate a fight with Army of the Dead. Then you want to go in, put Outbreak in your target, you want to pop any cooldowns you have, then do 2 Obliterates, Frost Strike, then you want to keep going, you want to spam the Obliterate, Frost Strike when you haven't got anything to do, Rhyme when procced, as you can see there. Only use your Empower Rune weapon when you have no runes and no runic power. You want to keep that blood tap down, you saw me failing at it then, you want to keep it at 11 stacks or lower, but only use it when you really have to, but never make sure it goes over the cap. And you want to keep using those killing machines on your Obliterates. You will be using a lot of killing machines on Frost Strike when you're spamming it down, like then, and that's kind of unavoidable, so don't worry about that. And once your Army of the Dead's down, you want to have your Ghoul up, by the way, if you're feeling risky, but otherwise keep it for your Death Pact. You will lose a bit of DPS, but it will save you in certain situations, so it's up to you really. You want to keep using Obliterate, and then, as you can see, you want to keep Plague Strike up as well, as I've failed there. And now Outbreak's off cooldown, you can now, once I've used up everything, I can Plague Leech, and then reapply that, and then you've got a free Obliterate from that Plague Leech there. So that's what Plague Leech brings to the game really, it gives you a free Obliterate. And if you have Rhyme procced, you can use it as well, because basically you're using Plague Strike, but you've just got given 2 free Death Runes, so it's kind of worth it, 1 Death Rune for 2. And it's coming off cooldown again here, you can see, like, once I get a Rhyme proc, I can use it. I have to keep using Obliterate to get that Rhyme proc. And obviously I can't demonstrate Soul Reaper here. And there's the Rhyme proc. Now you want to use it there. You've not spent anything on Howling Blast apart from go cooldown, and you spent 1 on Plague Leech, and there's your Obliterate, confirm 2. And keep using the blood tap and make sure it goes over 12. Obviously it can hit 12 sometimes, but don't make sure you don't use it again. And keep using it there. I haven't actually had a time for Empower Rune weapon yet. I probably won't as Frost, so you may as well use it in your burst cooldown once you run out of Obliterates. And Outbreak's back. Plague Leech again, there's a free Obliterate again. And you're laughing really as Frost. Plague Leech is keeping your runes up at all times. There's almost no need for Empower Rune weapon whatsoever apart from getting extra Obliterates off. That's the single target rotation for you all. Now this is the multi-target rotation, it's kind of simple. You want to keep your diseases up on all targets, spread them around with Pestilence or Rolling Blood if you've gone with that. Howling Blast on Death Runes and Frost Runes, Death and Decay on your Unholy Runes, Frost Strike if you're runic power capped, Howling Blast again, Death and Decay, Frost Strike, Horn of Winter and Plague Strike if you've got nothing else to do. If Death and Decay is on cooldown, you've got Unholy Runes. And now for the AoE rotation. There's a little trick I learned with the AoE rotation that I'll be showing you soon with Plague Leech. It's not really a trick really, but you want to get your diseases spread, you want to get Death and Decay up on your targets, then spending all your runes you can on Howling Blast. Then you want to be using Frost Strike when you've got nothing else to do. Howling Blast again. And as you can see, my disease is on the other target. Plague Leech will only remove it from this target, so if I Plague Leech that target, I can move to this target, Pestilence, and I've only used 1 rune to get 2 runes. So Plague Leech actually works very well in an AoE rotation, as we can see. If you want me to go over again, that's basically me taking the diseases off that target, moving to this target, Pestilencing, and then I've gained 1 death rune overall. And you want to be keeping your Death and Decay up, Howling Blast in away. When you've got nothing else to do, Little Plague Strike, Horn of Winter when you've got nothing else to do after that. Spending all your killing machines on your Frost Strike, because it's only costs runic power. Keep using your Blood Tap, keep Howling Blast in, and that's all you need to know for the AoE rotation, really. So thanks everybody for watching my Frost Deathknight 5.4 PvE guide. I'll be making an updated one if things change for the Deathknight, which is kind of likely an early patch. There are hotfixes and debuffs and such, and maybe that'll change how we play, so I will be updating it if that happens. This is only day 1, remember, so some of the stats and such could be wrong in a month's time, so this guide may be outdated eventually. I will make sure you know it's outdated and upload a new one. But anyway, thanks again for watching. I hope this helped. Best luck to you in 5.4, and I'll see you soon.